My next question will be, I just love the way you explained yoga, humanity and everything. My next question will be, so many compositions you have done. It is hard to say that which one is your favorite, but we would love to hear something from you that this gave you the utmost pleasure in your mind that when you really composed it.
Recently in New York, I met some group of Indian young people, and some of them were saying that they enjoyed listening to my Rag Durga. So Rag Durga was my long playing record, the most sold record. By HMV now it has become Saregama. So what is Rag actually? Rag in Bengali it has a different meaning. But in classical music, Rag is a melody. Any melody which has a discipline of ascending and descending becomes a Rag. Otherwise, nobody talks what is natural music. The time has come, we should talk about natural music. What is natural music? Anything comes to my mind, da ra 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 da ra da ra da ra ra da ra da ra da ra da 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 ra da ra da 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 ra da ra ra da ra da ra da ra ra da ra da ra. So this is just a tune, just a melody which came to my mind. I sang, or there was a time, another melody I used to hum all the time without realizing what I'm singing. Da ra da da ta na da ra da da ta na da ra da da ra da 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 ra da ra da ra da 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 ra da da ra da na da ta no. So one day suddenly I stopped and I thought, what am I singing? What is this? Then I realized this was something new. Something new melody has come to my mind. So I analyzed what are these notes. Pa ma ga re sa ni da pa ma ba ni da re pa ga ma re pa ma pa da ni sa ni da pa re ga ma ga pa ma ga re da da ra. So in those days there was a request from Ganesh festival from Maharashtra that please create something new for Lord Ganesha. So I named this melody as Ganesh Kalyan. So I played all over the world Ganesh Kalyan. In my symphony orchestra which I have created is called Samagam. It's about 45-minute piece which last 24th October I was playing in United Nations, Aman and all of us. It was a UN day on 24th October and Mahatma Gandhi's 150 years. So first we played, three of us, for half an hour. Then there is a beautiful orchestra in New York. It's called Refugee Project Orchestra. So maybe they are all refugee musicians, very young but very talented musicians. So they played Samagam. So in Samagam there are flashes of so many ragas, even Ganesh Kalyan is there. And then I have played songs of Tagore also, tribute to Tagore with the legendary Suchitra Mitra, the great singer of Rabindra Sangeet. So earlier, my father used to say that Rabindranath Tagore ji used to like my father's sarod. And few times Tagore invited my father and he used to enjoy listening to Alap. Alap in Bengali there's a different meaning. So in our classical music we have Alap, Jod and Jhala and all that. Then a friend of mine, I never used to like Rabindra Sangeet earlier, but my Bengali friend in Calcutta, he continued, he tried to impress me with Rabindra Sangeet, and one day, this project came from HMB, Saregama, that we have to record 10 songs of Tagore. And she was very kind, Suchitra Mitra ji. So we had rehearsals in Oberoi Grand Hotel in Calcutta. And then I realized that most of Tagore's songs, Tagore always took liberty of adding some more certain notes in every rag. And that is why the classical musician of India and even Bengal, they did not like this aspect of Tagore. Okay, why did he take liberty? Or why did he add another note in Rag Bihag? But my experience after playing Ekla Chalo Re and there was a song, about 10 songs I played, and Kaun Khera Jo Khelbo Koko, beautiful song. Da 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 da. Da 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 the beautiful song. But this is based on Rag Khamaj. And we gave public concerts also, which is Suchitra Mitra here, we played. And one day I addressed to the audience and I told them that Rabindranath Tagore ji took liberty in every rag. And then it sounded beautiful. According to his poetry, according to his thoughts, that extra note what he used, it was beautiful, it sounded beautiful. And I said, only a genius can take liberty. Only genius can take liberty. A mediocre, they follow the convention. I don't respect convention. Convention is a very unhealthy word. There is a slight difference between tradition and convention. Convention means blindly follow the queue. I don't follow the queue. I have my own mind, I have my own thinking. I feel read every book, listen to everybody, and we can pick and choose what is good for me. I'm not impressed with all the godmen of India. Some.
Yes.
So everybody they have followers of, but we have so much in our system, the surrenderness, bhakti, which is only in India. That kind of bhakti, that kind of samarpan, it doesn't exist anywhere else in the world.
many years and have visited so many places, what you saw in the audience? Were they always active in that acceptance of that Indian origin music? So how you felt about it?
You see, every Indian musician, every classical musician, they have their own opinion. They have their own mission. And as we are blessed the creativity, we are also blessed the arrogance. Every creative man, it varies degrees to degree. So there are musicians that think music begins with them, music ends with them. And there's an ego clash, and so you'll find a lot of arrogant people in this creative field. But we have to fight it out, because I feel arrogance is a disease. Cancer can be cured, but arrogance just ruin the person totally, destroy the person. So I feel when the people come to listen to you, they have so many great expectations from you. But some musicians, they start teaching the music to the audience. Some musicians, they lose track of time. एक राग खत्म कर दिया तो भगवान जाने खत्म कब करेगा. That is the problem of Indian classical music. So when people love you, there are very few artists in the world that people love them. So this relationship of love and romance and admiration, adoration, so that becomes most important factor. I was traveling with a great musician of India. We had gone to Italy, Rome, for a performance. And that Italian gentleman asking me in front of my wife, tabla player, everybody sitting, that how should he address me in the publicity. So it is very embarrassing question if somebody asks. I says, what? Anyway, the way you want, please print it the way you feel like. He said, no, because the other musician, he has asked that how much money I should pay him and how he should be called. And that musician was very senior to me. He said, what did he say? He says he wants in the publicity musicians of the century. So, listening to such comment, you feel like saying you print me as a musician of double century. But because I used to respect him, he was a senior musician. So I said, look, whatever he wants, please do that. But for me, you can write the most loved musician of India. So that was the publicity. So how people become famous and how the audience accept them, and then, so it's a long journey. Classical music, overnight nobody can become superstar. Like in the film world or business world, people become superstar. But classical music, the people of India especially, or people of the world, they take time to choose. And if you analyze, there are only 10, 15 artists or musicians of India. People are listening to them. Though there are thousands and lakhs of musicians, I think. I have written a book recently, published by Penguin Random House, a book on 12 great musicians who have just passed away. And this never happened also earlier. Because generally a musician writes a book on his guru, on his mother, on his father and uncle and this and that. And after, after the book, I myself feel how could I do that? But it is with great sincerity. It's my tribute to all those 12 great musicians. And why only 12? Because I had personal equation with them. Like Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, Ustad Amjad Khan sahab, Pandit Kishan Maharaj, Begum Akhtar, and there are 12. The only South Indian musician is M.S. Subbulakshmi, because we had a very good relation with her. And my wife's name is after M.S. Subbulakshmi, because my in-laws, they saw a film, a beautiful film called Meera, and she was the heroine, M.S. Subbulakshmi. She was heroine of about 6 or 7 feature films. And they were impressed with that role of Meera, and when my wife was born, so they called her Subbulakshmi. So...
and she is the dancer.
Yes,
as
she
well.
is a Bharatanatyam
Yes,
dancer.
yes.
So Amanya, they are very fortunate to have a mother like that, who... And we both are unemployed parents, so we gave them a lot of time.
But how you manage the time? Because you are always roaming around in the whole world, and
Yes, she gave more
yeah,
time actually.
she gave more time. Okay.
And I remember once in 1984, I was traveling and performing in the universities. And the last concert was in LA. And one Indian gentleman came to me. He says, "Sir, please stay another week because Michael Jackson is coming to my house and he wants to listen to you. He's a great fan of your music." I mean, it was a very great honor to hear this. But I was missing my family, I was missing Amanya, and they were little children at that time. I said, "I'm honored and I'm very happy, but I'm missing my family, I must go back. And I have already traveled 2 months in this country and I can't live anymore." I said, "God willing, I'll meet him someday." But when he died, I felt very sorry that he died very young. And he was a great artist, great musician. And the whole world, felt and observed his death.
Yeah. Who is the real Ustad Amjad Ali Khan ji, except that musician part? What is your other hobbies that you really love to do?
To serve people. I mean, I serve. Music also I serve. ये सेवा कर रहा हूँ मैं दुनिया की through my music. And I love to, feed birds, or in a river when I see fish, I give them food. And I saw that from my childhood in the house. My father we have that old house. On that terrace there used to be special food for pigeons and special food for sparrows. So, you see, this service is the most difficult part. And my father often said that adjustment of life is itself is the greatest prayer. Whether you adjust in your family, whether you adjust in your office, whether you adjust with your accompanying musicians. It's very selfish what I want. In my house, the most important person is who is cooking food for you, or my driver, or my person who is working in the office for me. They are more important for me. So, I mean, I've seen several families where everybody is afraid of a man. He's a bread earner. So, it gives me and great joy to serve people. वो इंसान को भी खाना खिलाए या जानवर को खाना खिलाए, तो सेवा करना. I mean, that reminds me of J.R.D. Tata. I had the honor of meeting him. Not only Tata, but I met uh, G.D. Birla, the oldest man who created Birla Empire. I had the honor of performing for Birla's 84th birthday in Delhi. So it was a great honor and pleasure to talk to him and listen to him. But talking about service, the Tata created a Taj Mahal hotel. All over the world now we have Taj Mahal. So the best part of Taj Mahal hotel is their staff. The way they serve you, the way they talk to you. And one day, Mr. Tata was having some breakfast or lunch, and the waiter did not know that this is Mr. Tata. And the way he was serving him with that tray, he was not very comfortable with his service. So finally he got up and took the tray from his hand, and he told him to sit on the chair. And then the whole hotel was watching. Maybe he realized that this is Mr. Tata. And then he showed him how to stand, how much to go forward, how much he should bow down. So service is the most, difficult part for any human being. ये काम के लिए or for your own work. So this in our country, मेहमान को संस्कृत में या हिंदी में देवता की तरह माना जाता है. When you have a guest in India, generally we give a lot of respect, almost like a god. But things are changing now.
Yeah. The new upcoming musicians who are trying new different things, new different genres, if you can say a few words to them.
You see, the younger generation, they are very fortunate that they have this social media and internet, and so they are having a ready-made material by all the great masters. They may be disciple of anybody, but they are following so many great musicians. We never had tape recorder in our house, but today people are practicing with the microphone at home. People are watching videos and listening to CD. But fortunately, among the generation of Aman and Ayan, there are very, very talented musicians in every field: tabla, sitar, sarod, vocal. And so there is no problem for the future of Indian classical music. But if you can manage, you must read my book, that the Penguin Random House. The title is Master on Masters. That's the title. And these great musicians, I grew up listening to them, and I was in the same festival. One day I am playing, next day Ravi Shankar ji is playing, third day Vilayat Khan Sahib is playing, then Bhimsen Joshi ji is singing, Kumar Gandharv ji is singing. So suddenly I find vacuum. I miss them all. This vacuum, and that is the reason I could write this book. And I am grateful to Penguin Random House that they have printed it so beautifully, this book. And it's available through Amazon.
Yeah.
So I think people should read that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for this lovely chat with us. We found a new true musician in you.
Thank you.
Really, because I love the way you explained humanity and humility. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
staying with us.
Thank you. All
And
the best.
and all my viewers, thank you so much for watching Star Darbar and blessing us with your love and your affection for last 6 months. Thank you so much for being there with us, and thank you so much again,
Thank you.
Ustad ji, for coming here.
Thank you.
Thank you.